Good Monday evening, September 22nd, the first day of fall, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A two-car head-on collision on Highway 283 claimed the life of a Las Vegas woman yesterday afternoon, just 2 miles east of George. A combined grass and structure fire consumed storage outbuildings plus a parked trailer and boat on Friday just outside Leavenworth. Our first week of fall will feature haze, sunshine, and above normal temperatures. Your complete local forecast is coming up. While the Lower Sugarloaf Fire increased in size and prompted new evacuation notices over the weekend, a wildfire burning in Kittitas County crossed into Chelan County, prompting evacuations of its own. The Labor Mountain Fire started in the same day as Sugarloaf on September 1st, 10 miles northeast of Cle Elum. On Sunday, extreme winds drove it east toward Highway 97 and across the county line, leading to closure of the highway at Blewett Pass and Level 3 evacuation notices for the area between Culver Gulch and North Chaser Creek west of 97. Areas to the north and south of that zone were at Level 2, while the community of Valley High and Camas Creek Road were at Level 1. At Sugarloaf, the same eastward winds triggered Level 3 Go Now notifications for about 55 homes along the Eniat River. That was between Roaring Creek and Dinkelman Canyon. Between them, the two large fires have now burned just over 40,000 acres. Residents are advised to keep watch on local emergency channels as evacuation levels may change. A two-car head-on collision on Highway 283 claimed the life of a Las Vegas woman yesterday afternoon, just 2 miles east of George. The Washington State Patrol says it was roughly 1:30 p.m. when a southbound 2015 Chevy Colorado truck driven by 71-year-old Michael H. Jensen of Grapeview, Washington, crossed the center line and struck a northbound 2019 Jeep Cherokee head-on. Jensen was transported to Quincy Valley Medical Center for his injuries. The driver of the Jeep, 48-year-old Jessica A. White, was pronounced dead at the scene. Her two passengers were transported to Confluence Health Hospital. The State Patrol says the cause of the crash is under investigation. In a few months, residents in Chelan and Douglas counties will be seeing a sales tax proposal on the February special election ballot from Rivercom 911. The board for the Emergency Dispatch Agency says the measure would increase the local sales tax by 0.1% and aims to improve emergency services and expand Rivercom's facility. Population growth and tourists have added to the increased demand for 911 response, while at the same time the agency works with aging infrastructure, dated technology, and limited physical space. In 2024, Rivercom purchased 12.7 acres of land in East Wenatchee for a new communications center. If passed, the measure would speed up that project. Rivercom is currently working out of the third floor of the Wenatchee Police Department, where its lease ends in 2029. Last Thursday, Washington Senator Maria Cantwell was joined by a group of her state's small business owners on the steps of the Supreme Court, calling for an end to President Trump's tariff policies. Those participating in the Democratic senator's press conference said the heavy import taxes on goods from overseas are cutting into their revenues and endangering their livelihoods. Among them was Travis McMaster, owner of Wenatchee-based retailer Cocoon, which has sold outdoor and travel gear for 36 years. At the Washington, D.C. conference, McMaster said his business was thrown off balance by the president's unpredictable tariff decisions.
My son, 26 years old, runs our warehouse. My wife is our marketing manager. And because we are smaller and nimble, we can do some things to our advantage that larger companies can't. Right? Changing supply chain, changing countries, it's like riding the Titanic with a large corporation. But I kind of outsmarted myself this time. Get out of China. We've been working with the same factory since 1991, before China was a dirty word. Visited the factory last fall with my son. Working conditions are amazing. We're not a less expensive commodity product. We pay a fair wage for all these years. We're a premium product. And I heard the call, get out of China, so I looked for some resources. We have a manufacturer in India that's produced some of our products over the years, and he's wanted more of our business. It was a good opportunity. And at 7% tariff, it was probably a business decision we should have done 10 years ago. And here I am, switched some manufacturing to India for one of our largest retailers around the country with 195 doors. And then at the end of July, I got 3 days notice that the tariffs will be more than the China tariffs. So here we are, did the right thing, shifted out of China to a country where things were, there was opportunity. We need to put a stop to these quick changes. Our business isn't run on a whim, and our country shouldn't either. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming over.
When we come back, an 18-year-old Wenatchee man was arrested on Saturday after he allegedly stole a vehicle, and a combined grass and structure fire consumed storage outbuildings plus a parked trailer and boat on Friday just outside Leavenworth. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
School's back, but this is the kind of math we like. Over 100 slices of pepperoni, one giant Abby's pizza feeds up to 6 hungry people. That's A+ value, toppings to the edge. That's been the Abby's way since forever. Now go do your homework. When someone says, bring home the bacon, we know what they mean. They want Abby's legendary Bacon Cheddar Pizza, loaded with country bacon and packed with Canadian bacon. On sale now at abbys.com. This month, bring home the bacon at family-owned Abby's.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
An 18-year-old Wenatchee man was arrested on Saturday after he allegedly stole a vehicle. On Friday afternoon, the owner of a 2018 Jeep Cherokee spotted his own car traveling north in the alley behind the 500 block of Orondo Avenue after accidentally leaving a set of keys in the car. The same car was spotted on Saturday by the East Wenatchee Police Department's license plate reader cameras traveling south on 9th Street. Police tried to box in the suspect, identified as Alex Jorgensen, at Garden Plaza. Jorgensen allegedly tried to flee by crashing into an officer's vehicle while he was in it and was later stopped by a pit maneuver near the 300 block of South Kentucky Avenue by police. Jorgensen allegedly led police on a foot pursuit but was caught and arrested on suspicion of possessing a stolen motor vehicle. Police are seeking a total of 10 criminal charges in that incident. A few days before the vehicle theft, investigators say Jorgensen was involved in a separate incident in which he assaulted a Wenatchee teenager and stole his backpack. An accident Sunday night caused power lines to fall across the upper portion of Stamilt Hill Road, resulting in a temporary closure of the road and loss of power for PUD customers. The Chelan County Public Works Department closed the road from the intersection with Stamilt Creek Road to just above Blair Slack Road, while crews with the Chelan County PUD were called to assist. Due to the danger of the fallen power lines, no alternative routes were available during the temporary closure. The area was reopened early this morning, but PUD crews are still on site. Drivers were encouraged today to watch for flaggers directing traffic on the upper portion of Stamilt Hill Road. A combined grass and structure fire consumed storage buildings plus a parked trailer and boat on Friday just outside Leavenworth. It happened about 4:30 p.m. in the 11,000 block of Chumstick Highway, 3 miles north of the city. The fire started between 2 homes while the residents were away, and neighbors responded to help stop the fire as it spread toward the houses. Chelan County Fire District 3 and other departments arrived to help control the the blaze. No one was injured, but the flames posed the risk of starting a new wildland blaze as they spread uphill. Traffic on Chumstick Highway was interrupted briefly for the firefighting response. Coming up next, this past June, the North Central Washington Wine Awards marked its 15th anniversary. In tonight's feature story, we talk to the judges who swirl, sniff, sip, and spit to select the very best from a rich field of local wines. Sun, haze, and unseasonably warm temperatures on the way through Wednesday. I'll have your local weather details coming up, and Eric Granstrom will take a look at all the day's sports as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after the break.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
In tonight's features story, this past June, the North Central Washington Wine Awards marked its 15th anniversary. The celebration of the humble grape, sponsored by Foothills Magazine, is the only competition of its kind in the four-county North Central Washington region. Foothills is a special publication of the Wenatchee World. You can find the September issue on local newsstands with a catalog of all the winning vintages. The 2025 tasting competition was held at St. Joseph Catholic Church. That's where we caught up with some of the judges. They're the people who swirl, sniff, sip, and spit to select the very best from a rich field of local wines.
In this judging, we don't know who makes the wines, where they come from. It's all a blind tasting. So we get several wines of the same type, and we're looking at it for its color. One of the things we talk about are legs. If there's a kind of a streak of residue, clear residue, that tells you your alcohol content. We're looking for clarity, and then we're sniffing the wine. The aroma is a really important part of capturing the essence of real fruit, especially in a fresh wine. And most of these wines are usually only 1 or 2 or 3 years old at the most. And then we taste them and we try to describe them compared to other known tastes, So, and then we judge what we like best in terms of, what the wine reveals in terms of fruitiness, how well made it is, how sharp it is, how smooth it is, whether it's got, what they call legs and tannins, which comes from the wood, and the grape skins, which will make a wine last longer, but it might give you that puckering feeling in your mouth. So a lot of different things involved.
Coming from a wine making background, but I also dealt a lot with customers, there's kind of the two sides of what I look for, which is, yes, is this a sound, well-made wine that doesn't have any faults? And does it represent what this wine is supposed to be? Does this cab taste like a cab, right? But then there's also thinking about when the customer comes and tastes it, what is going to stand out to them, what flavors, is it in balance is a big one for me. I know some people, hey, I really love high acid or high tannin, but for me, a wine should kind of have this balance where these components all come together to kind of create this beautiful experience. So, for me, it's kind of that whole package, as long as the wine from the get-go is sound and well-made. A perfect Pinot is not the same thing as a perfect Cab Sauv. Actually, our table was just talking about this, that, certain wines and styles, a California Cab is known to be really big and tannic and all of this. And then sometimes you put a Pinot in front of somebody and they go, well, that's what I was expecting, but that's not what a Pinot Noir is supposed to be. So I think you really want, the most important thing to me is that a wine really represents where it is and what it's supposed to be. I mean, you come to Chelan and Wenatchee and, this area for wines that were made here that taste like they're from here. You didn't say, I want a Malbec from Argentina, but you came to taste here. So it should taste like a Malbec from our area.
Yeah, you try to ignore your own preference. I mean, it's always going to be there. It's like being a journalist. Sometimes you've got your own ideas of what things should be like, but you have to go in and understand that each of these people have put a lot of work into growing the grapes, selecting the grapes, and then turning them into a quality product. So you try to judge every wine for its own merit.
There's a special place in my heart for Cab Franc because I did my research studies of it when I was in college, and I always feel like it's an underestimated, so I like to root for the underdog. But I'm gonna have to give a plug for Syrah because I just think Syrah in Washington is this exceptional thing that shows the place it's from. And you can be in a completely different region in Washington and the Syrah can be completely different. And it really kind of shows, it's, just that idea that you could pull a Syrah from the Lake Chelan Valley and Walla Walla and Red Mountain, and you can put them side by side and go, I can taste the differences of where they're made. And I think that's pretty darn neat, so.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic weekend and a great day today. Today, a lot like we had most of the weekend, except yesterday because of the wind. But boy, some very degraded air quality around North Central Washington today. We all dealt with a lot of this haze as we look outside our weather window from our lower Wenatchee Heights tower camera. And you can see all of that haze along the Cascades. And boy, you could really smell it out there today. Our air quality for the most part in the moderate category, right around the 90 number for most of us in North Central Washington. Of course, down by Cle Elum and near the Lower Sugarloaf Fire, air quality even worse than that. And as we make our way into Tuesday, we're expecting pretty much more of the same, maybe even unhealthy for sensitive groups. But boy, as we travel up Highway 97 into that Entiat area, we are looking at unhealthy, and we may even get close to that very unhealthy air quality by tomorrow afternoon. Just not much wind, and what wind we are seeing out of the northwest, which is bringing all that smoke right at us. As far as temperatures go, we are right where we should be for this time of year. 75 unofficially today, 74 is our normal high, and 90 our record high set back in 1996. Also, right in the ballpark as far as lows go, 52 overnight. Boy, it felt cold, didn't it, after we've been seeing, excuse me, all of those 60s and even 70s for low temperature. 51 is our normal low, and 39, yes, 39, our record overnight low temperature, and that was set in 1996. Can you believe it? We only picked 3/100ths of an inch of rain out of that shower yesterday morning, but believe it or not, also, that is a record for yesterday in the Wenatchee area. That pretty much depicts how dry it is here. We're now 2.82 inches for the year, which is still over 2 inches behind where we should be. Sunrise 6:48 this morning, and it sets tonight now before 7 o'clock at 6:58. Tomorrow's temperatures, how about this for fall-like weather? I should say summer-like weather in fall. 82 degrees for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 81 in Quincy, 80 from Ellensburg into Wenatchee, Entiat and Chelan, 81 for Omak, 76 in Lake Wenatchee, and upper 70s for both Leavenworth and for Cashmere. So a pretty nice week ahead for our first week of fall. Tonight, hazy conditions will continue. High pressure in southern Montana will keep all of the western skies clear overnight tonight, and that means cool overnight lows once again, with temperatures about 50 to 52 degrees again. Some frost conditions will be in effect from Omak east, so keep that in mind. For Tuesday, some haze. It will be warmer. High temperatures tomorrow, right around 80 degrees. On Wednesday, sunny and warmer. This will be our warmest day of the week. Nothing but clear skies on Wednesday with temperatures, can you believe it? Mid to upper 80s for Wednesday. Thursday, still going to be nice, but we do have a bit of a trough of low pressure in Montana, so high pressure and low pressure close together. We're going to see some windy conditions Thursday afternoon. That'll cool us down just a little bit Thursday. High temperatures in the afternoon in the low 80s. As we get into football Friday, mostly sunny. There will be a pretty strong northwesterly and northerly flow into Wenatchee. That means cooler temperatures Friday with afternoon highs still not bad in the mid to upper 70s. And then kicking off our first fall weekend, it looks beautiful. Mostly sunny and mild on Saturday with high temperatures in the upper 70s. And then as we get you into our final day of our 7-day forecast on Sunday, still going to see decent weather, increasing clouds, large area of low pressure is pushing our way. That'll bring one area of cloudiness first for us. We'll see high clouds in the afternoon Sunday. Still nice. High temperatures near 80 degrees. Now your 7-day forecast, 52 overnight tonight. Some of that haze once again on Tuesday and 80. I think some of that or most of the haze will kind of flush out of here on Wednesday. 85 degrees, our warmest day of the week. 82 and breezy on Thursday. And then a nice mild weekend ahead with mostly sunny conditions, mid to upper 70s for highs, and we'll stay that way on Sunday with increasing clouds and warm. High temperatures near 80. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Happy Monday. Well, how sweep it is. The Mariners completed a sweep of the Astros in Houston yesterday with a resounding 7-3 victory. It began with the bases loaded walk in the second that quickly became, well, a 7-run inning for Seattle.
No, he missed badly, and he walks in a run. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Alexander. And Crawford lifts one high and deep. And it is a grand slam for J.P. Crawford. The Mariners, in their attempt to sweep this thing, lead it 5-0 in the second inning. 12th of the year.
You got 2 strikes on J.P. Crawford. You waste a changeup down. It stays up. As soon as he hit it, he knew it.
That's how you win 13-14. Raleigh, right field. He's got 58. And the Mariners' main man delivers 2 more in a remarkable season within 2 of 60.
It's amazing how Raleigh uses his legs so well. We talk about long seasons as a catcher. It's strong base, but most importantly, it keeps the hands still quick.
That ball lifted. Cole, forget about that. Zach Cole, big blast, and the Stros are on the board. And this kid has been something special.
Well, they need something special. When Yordan Alvarez went down with the ankle injury, he ended up getting 2 big hits, including a home run in that game.
And he lines it into right field. 1 run's going to come in. Dubon gets held. Jose Altuve. That ball left field lifted, and no doubt about it. Big fly, Ishaq Paredes. Another one to left. Randy Arozarena knows a home run when he sees one, and he did not budge.
No, not at all, and that's what Ishaq Paredes does when he hits the home runs. The numbers, you see them at the top.
And that is right down the middle to end it. And a series sweep and a statement by the Seattle Mariners. They win tonight 7-3 and win all 3 games of this series to go up 3 in the race for the West.
Cal Raleigh joined ESPN afterwards to talk about the incredible season for him and his teammates.
It's a tough environment here, and they're a good team. They've owned the West for a while now, and we knew we had a battle on our hands. 3 different times coming in here, so it was a big series. 3 wins is huge here, and trying to keep it rolling into the playoffs. We got a great group of guys in there, great clubhouse, some veterans, young guys. It's a good mix in there, and it seems like every night somebody's stepping up in a different way. So I think we're just hungry. We're just hungry to get going, and we missed the playoffs by a game the last 2 years. So you remember those things, and trying to keep our head down and keep going right now. I really can't even wrap my head around it. It's a crazy concept. Like I said, to even be mentioned in that category with somebody who's one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. So, very honored, very humbled, and very happy. I got a few wins here on top of it.
Seattle has the day off today before beginning the final homestand of the regular season against Colorado tomorrow night at 6:40. That'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Well, following the sweep, the Mariners lead the Astros by 3 games in the American League West. Texas continues to stumble, falling to Miami 4-2. Pittsburgh pummeled the Athletics 11-0. The Rockies come to Seattle after a 3-1 win over the Angels on Sunday. Well, the Seahawks jumped all over New Orleans early Sunday and went on for a 44-13 win at Lumen Field. Torrey Horton had a breakout game with a 95-yard punt return touchdown and another 14-yard touchdown reception. The defense kept the Saints in check, sacking Spencer Rattler a couple of times, coming up with 1 interception. The special teams also came up with a blocked field goal. Coach Mike McDonald was happy.
Very pleased with our win. Really just proud of our process right now, the guys' attitude, our approach every day. I think the coolest thing about our group is we're not satisfied. We know we have room to grow as a football team. We talk about being decisive, shocking, relentless. I thought we were those things, but I also think, especially on defense, there's room for growth, where we can learn from some of those extended drives. We'll look at the penalties to see what went wrong there and if it was cost doing business or if it was on the other end of the spectrum. But overall, just a great team effort, man. Guys played extremely hard, played together, complementary football. Our offense was efficient. It would have been great to not give up the ball there at the end. And defensively, we played hard. We did a great job, and really the story of the day, honestly, is our special teams unit. I think Dave told me they're responsible for 30 points directly, and some pretty high-powered stuff. So those guys deserve a lot of credit. Gave Jay Harbaugh a game ball, and Torrey Horton, just a phenomenal game as well. D'Anthony Bell with the punt block, just great all around. So really proud of it. But now we got to go back to work. We got a game Thursday. We got a great plan to get our bodies right and our minds, and we got to move on quickly because the game is coming.
Seattle has a short week to prepare to travel to Arizona to face the Cardinals on Thursday Night Football. San Francisco survived a late rally by Arizona yesterday for a 16-15 victory. The Rams were lining up for a game-winning field goal in Philadelphia, but had the kick blocked and returned for a touchdown, so the Eagles win that one. Seahawks, Rams, and Arizona all tied at 2-1, while the Niners are 3-0. Well, Washington State pulled to within a touchdown in the second half of Saturday's Apple Cup, but Washington scored 28 unanswered fourth quarter points to win it 59-24. Cougars committed 3 turnovers, falling to 2-2 on the season. Huskies remain unbeaten at 3-0 and will host Ohio State this weekend. Eastern Washington won big over Western Illinois 52-31. Central Washington defeated defended Tomlinson Stadium, downing West Texas A&M by a final of 52-6. That's a check of sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. For much more in local sports, including the football recap from the weekend, volleyball, soccer, and everything else, including the Super Oval, head to our website at NCWLIFE.com.
And that will do it for this Monday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app. Our channel is now available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the NCWLIFE app to your devices and share the news with friends and family. You can email us with news tips anytime at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.